A stranger on a subway platform that offers you a game, folded paper on the ground. He flips yours, he wins. You flip his, you win cash. You have no cash. So when you lose, he slaps you across the face instead. And you let him. Again. And again. For the money at the end. And somewhere someone watching decides you are perfect. Because a person who will take a beating for pocket change is a person who will do anything for a fortune. He hands you a card with a phone number. You call it. That is the last free choice you make for a very long time. You wake up in a giant room with 455 other people. Everyone here is broke. Everyone here is drowning. Debt, gambling, a business that failed, a family they can't feed, and every single one of you is wearing the same green tracksuit with a number stitched on the chest. That is who you are now. Not a name. A number. One of 456. And here's the part they don't tell you at the door, so let me tell you. Only one person walks out of this place alive. One. The other 455 of you die here. So the question in this whole video is asking is very simple. Are you the one? Quick answer. You're not. But let's watch you try anyway. Above your heads, a giant glass piggy bank hangs from the ceiling, empty. Here is how it fills. Every time one of you dies, 100 million one drops into it. That is the deal. Your life has a price. And the price is 100 million won, and it goes to whoever is left standing at the end. So understand what you actually are in this building. You are not a player, you are a deposit. 455 deposits and one winner, and the winner carries 45.6 billion won out the door. Every scream you hear tonight is just the prize is getting bigger. Guards in pink suits watch you from every angle, faces hidden behind black masks marked with a circle, a triangle, or a square. You never see their eyes. And above them all, a man in a black mask who runs the whole thing. You will never learn his name in time for it to matter. There is one rule worth holding on to. You signed a form on the way in, and buried in it is a clause. If the majority of players vote to stop, the games end, and everyone goes home. Remember that. It's the only door in this place. Game 1. They march you into a giant field under a fake blue sky. At the far end stands a massive doll, a little girl the size of a building. Her name is Young Hee. The rules are a children's game. When she sings, you run. When she stops and turns around, you freeze. Move while she's watching, and you're out. Simple. And then the first person twitches, and the doll's eyes light up, and they get shot dead where they stand. Because out means dead. It always means dead. And now, everyone understands at once, and everyone panics, and that panic is what kills you. People sprint. People scream. People trip over the bodies of the people in front of them, and every one of them freezes at the wrong instant and gets cut down. In the space of a few minutes, 255 people die. More than half of everyone in the building. Gone. In the very first game. Survival check. If you kept your head, froze like a statue, and hid your motion behind the body of someone already stopped, maybe you live. But most people don't keep their head when the shooting starts. 255 of you didn't. And 255 times, 100 million won dropped into that piggy bank. Now here's where you learn something about yourself. After that bloodbath, the players get to use the rule of vote, end the games, or keep playing. It comes down to a tie, and one last old man casts the deciding vote to stop. The doors open, you're free. You get to go home, and most of you leave. And then one by one you come back, because you go back out to the real world, to the debt collectors and the eviction notice and the family that's ashamed of you, and you realize something horrifying. Out there you were already dying, just slower. And here at least, there's a prize, and so you sign back up. And that is the cruelest trick the whole game plays. It doesn't force you. It just makes the rest of your life so hopeless that a death game looks like hope. You walked back in on your own 2 feet. Remember that? Game 2. They give you a tin of honeycomb candy and a needle. Pressed into the candy is a shape, a circle, a triangle, a star, an umbrella. Your job is to carve the shape out clean, without cracking it, before the time runs out. Crack it and you're shot. That's it. That's the whole game. And it sounds easy until you feel how brittle the candy is and you realize you picked the umbrella, the hardest one, because you had no idea what you were choosing. All around you, people are shot the second their shape snaps. 79 of them. Because they didn't know the trick. There's a trick. You can lick the back of the candy, let your spit melt it, and lift the shape out easy. The people who figured that out lived. The people who didn't died, holding a broken umbrella. Survival check. This one isn't strength or speed. It's information. Did you happen to see someone else's trick before it was your turn? If yes, you live. If no, you're just one more shape that cracked and one more 100 million in the pot. And between the games, when the lights go out, you learn the scariest rule of all. The guards aren't the only thing that can kill you. That night, the lights cut out and the room turns on itself. The strong hunt the weak in the dark. Grudges get settled with whatever's sharp. By the time the lights come back, more people are dead, and not one of them was shot. Other players did that. The game figured out that if they just create a little desperation and turn off the lights, you'll thin your own numbers for them. Survival check. You can play every game perfectly and still get killed in your sleep by the person in the next bunk. There is no safe moment in here, there's just the next way to die. Game 3. Tug of War. They split you into teams of 10 and march you onto 2 narrow platforms high in the air, connected by a rope over a long, long drop. Your team pulls, the other team pulls. Whichever team gets dragged over the edge falls to their death, all 10 of them at once. And here's the thing, you don't get to pick your team. If you got sorted in with the old or the weak, the ones who look like you, you're already doomed. Because raw strength decides this, and coordination decides this, and a team of the desperate and the frail against a team of the young and the strong is just 10 people about to fall. 40 people die in this game. Half of everyone left. Survival check. This one is barely up to you at all. It's who you're tied to. Pick the wrong 10 people to stand beside, or get picked into them, and skill doesn't matter because you're going over that edge together. Game 4, and this is the one that breaks people. They tell you to pick a partner, someone you trust, your closest ally in this place, the one person who's kept you alive, the one you protect, you pair up. And then they announce the game. You're not playing with your partner, you're playing against the marbles. Win all 10 of their marbles or die. One of you lives, one of you doesn't. And it has to be the person you just chose because you trusted them. So now you have 30 minutes to take everything from the one person in here who had your back and watch them get shot or be the one who gets shot yourself. 22 people die in this game. And the ones who win don't win clean. They win by lying to a friend, by tricking someone who loved them, by letting someone sacrifice themselves so they could live. Survival check. Even if you survive this one, you don't really survive it, because the game just proved to you exactly what you'll do to another human being when it's them or you. And you'll carry that out of here if you get out at all. That night, one of the winners can't live with it, and takes their own life. That's how good winning feels in this place. Game 5. Now there are only a handful of you left. They walk you out to a bridge made out of glass panels suspended over a fatal drop. 2 panels at each step. One is tempered glass that holds your weight. The other is ordinary glass that shatters the instant you touch it, and you fall. You have to cross by choosing, step after step, which pane is safe. And there is no way to know. It's a coin flip, 18 times in a row. And here's the detail that decides your life, and it has nothing to do with how smart or brave you are. It's where you stand in line. Because the person who goes first has to guess blind, and when they guess wrong, they die. But now everyone behind them knows which pane was safe. The people at the front are just there to die and light the way for the people at the back. 13 of the 16 players die on this bridge. 80%. Survival check. If the draw puts you near the front of the line, you are almost certainly dead, and it isn't your fault, and it doesn't matter that it isn't your fault. If it puts you at the back, you might just walk across a path paved by the bodies of the people who went first. That's the whole game. Your number in line was your sentence, and you didn't even get to choose it. And then there's the final game. Just a couple of players left now, walking into a last contest for all that money. But here's what you need to understand. You are not in this room. You are never going to be in this room. The people who make it to the end of this thing are the main characters, the ones the story protects. You are not one of them. You're a number that blinked out somewhere back on the glass bridge, or the tug-of-war platform, or the very first field. You're already in the piggy bank. You're 100 million one of somebody else's prize. That's as far as the luck was ever going to carry you. In the end, one man wins, and he's so broken by what it costs that he can't even bring himself to spend the money, because he finally understands what you've understood this whole time. There was never a prize worth this. There was only the pit, and the people who fell into it, and the rich people watching from above and betting on which of you would die next. Because that's the part I saved for last. This whole time, you weren't even the audience's hero. You were their entertainment. High above the floor, hidden away, a handful of the richest people in the world watch the whole thing for fun. They wear golden masks, they sip drinks, they place bets on your number like you're a horse at a race, Every death you survived, someone up there won or lost money on. That's what you are to the people who built this. Not a person, a bet. Now let's say the impossible happens. Let's say you're the one who lived. You'd think that would be the end of it. It isn't. Because the games don't stop. Years later, they open the doors again, and a new 456 walk in, and it starts all over. Same tracksuits, same doll, same piggy bank filling up one death at a time. The man who won it all the first time comes back, not to play, but to try to burn the whole thing down from the inside. He tries to rally the players into an army and fight the guards. And for a moment it almost works. And then it fails. Because the one person he trusted most, the player standing right beside him the whole time, turns out to be the masked man who runs the games. He was among you the entire time, wearing a number just like yours, watching you hope. The rebellion collapses. His best friend is executed in front of him. And the games roll on, because the games always roll on. And it ends where it was always going to end. More games. A hide and seek where the hunted are given keys and the hunters are given knives. A jump rope over another lethal drop. A final tower where the only way to survive is to push someone else off it. Right down to a mother and her newborn baby, born inside the game, given a number of its own. 222. Because in this place, even a baby is just a player. Just a deposit. Just a number that's worth money. In the very last moment, the man who came back to end it makes the only choice left that means anything. He can win, or he can die so the baby lives. And he steps off the edge. He gives his life so that a child who never chose to be there gets to walk out. The baby wins. 45.6 billion won, paid for by 455 dead adults. Handed to an infant who will never remember any of it. And the last thing he says to the men in the masks who turn people into livestock is the only thing worth saying. We are not horses. We are humans. And then, in a city on the other side of the world, a stranger on a street corner kneels down next to someone broke and desperate and lays a folded piece of paper on the ground and offers them a game. It never ends. It just moves to a new country and finds new numbers. So let's tally your odds. If you kept your head in that first field and hid behind a frozen body, you cleared the deadliest game. Barely. If you learned the candy trick in time, you made it through game 2. If you got tied to strong people in the tug of war and lucky in the marbles and stood at the back of the glass bridge, then congratulations. You are the single luckiest person in this building, and you still probably die in the next round because only one number ever leaves this place alive. And here's the truth under all of it. Your odds of winning this game were 1 in 456, less than 0.25%. You were never really playing to win. You were the thing the winner was playing against. You were the number that made the pot bigger. So, would you survive Squid Game? Almost certainly not. You'd be one of the 455. 100 million won, dropped into the glass. And the horror of this story was never the doll or the guards or the games. It was that people were desperate enough to sign up at all. That out there in the real world, being poor and already felt like dying. The game didn't invent that. It just put a number on it and a prize and turned the cameras on. If you'd survive the games, drop your player number in the comments. If you wouldn't, well, the recruiters are always looking. New scenario next week. Try not to get picked for that one.